Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've been very busy lately, so I haven't had a chance to film, so I decided I would do a quick 5-minute perfect brow tutorial today. So I'm a big fan of custom tweezing for both myself and my clients. As you know, I have very sensitive skin as well as some of my clients, so waxing or threading can be very irritating to the skin. And I also believe that custom tweezing is a more precise way, and it's more of my philosophy for a perfect brow and a natural beauty look. So before we get started, we'll go over the tools and then I will show you how to get a perfect brow. So of course we're going to start with tweezers, and I love these stainless steel pointy tweezers from Tweezerman. Great for precision tweezing as well as ingrown hairs. Next, going to use a cotton pad with just a little bit of witch hazel on it to actually prep the area, disinfect and open up the pores before tweezing. Next, I like to use a little disposable mascara wand from Alcone that's very flexible. You can just comb through and get your shape. Next, I like to use a basic brow pencil from MAC that's a little bit harder texture to fill in any sparse hairs and again create a perfect shape before beginning. And then to create your map of where you're going to tweeze, I like to use a white liner pencil to just actually create the area of where you're going to tweeze so that you don't over tweeze, under tweeze, and of course get a perfect brow. I like to finish with NARS Brow Gel, clear, just to get a really nice perfect shape. I also like to use electronic little hair trimmer, which is called Finishing Touch, to actually trim any long or flyaway brows to, again, get a really nice perfect shape. Also, I recommend getting a little spray bottle and filling it with alcohol so that you can disinfect your tweezers before starting. And then last but not least, to finish, I like to use this healing powder from Mario Badescu. It's a great powder for redness or irritation or inflammation, and I like to just put it on the brow after tweezing to prevent any redness. So let's get started. So first, as you can see, well, it's a little bit hard to see, but I let my brows grow in so you can see what needs to be tweezed. So first I'm going to start out with just combing the brow into place, and then I'm going to show you how to measure. So to get a perfect brow, you want to make sure that the start of the brow is right parallel with the inside corner of the eye. So you're going to measure. So as you can see, it's perfect. It's right there. So you want to make sure that you don't go past that line and tweeze out any hairs here and make it too short. So we're going to start there and actually put in our first line. So we're just going to put in a little line there to make sure that that is where the beginning of the brow is. Then I like to actually go in with the brow pencil and fill in any little sparse hairs to really create a shape. So again, just feathering, very light, very natural, so it's not too overdrawn or too overdone, but just to fill in those spaces. And then you can take your mascara wand and just brush up, and now you've got that perfect shape, and you can create a little more square at the edge if you want. And now you can see perfect shape. Now the arch of the brow, this is where you want to make sure that you're not rounding out the brow, giving it that surprise look, and you want to make sure that it stays a nice arch. So you're going to go in the center of the eye, turn the mascara wand so that's on an angle. You can see that's the highest point of the brow, so it's a really nice arch. You can always go in and just give it a little bit more arch to make sure that you're not going to tweeze out any of those top hairs so that that nice little point stays. Again, the tail, you want to make sure, see that it's nice and shaped, and then we're just going to go, that one little stray needs to be out. So see, you're starting to mark in where you're going to go. Next, you want to make sure that the tail, again, is not too short and not too long. It doesn't need to come out far, but you also want to make sure that you don't take off too much and make it too short. So again, corner of the eye, perfect, it's right there. So we just see a couple little strays that are around that area, so those need to come out above that area here. And now we're going to go underneath, and we're going to draw a nice line, a clean line, where the shape is already perfect with the brow, so you're not going to tweeze above that line and go in, because sometimes it's challenging when you're doing it yourself. You're going in too close and then you start tweezing tweezing out ones that you shouldn't tweeze, and then that's where the disaster starts to happen. So you want to make sure that that line, see, the whole line is perfect. So you just kind of created a little roadmap. And also with using the white pencil, it just makes the hairs more prevalent so that you can see them. So you kind of just create a map for everything that you want to tweeze out. Now, I'm not going to actually tweeze on camera today. I'm just really giving you the tools and the technique on how to do it. So as you can see, the shape of the brow is there and it's perfect. So once all of those are tweezed out, everything will be great. So the last part, especially if you have coarse brows or long brows or little flyaway ones like I do, to get an even more clean line and clean shape, you just comb the brows down. See how long they are? And you want to take out those little extra long pieces so that when you brush it back, it's just a really nice, perfect line. And that's what I like to use the finishing touch for, because it actually has a light. It's electronic, and you literally go in and just clip and clip those hairs. And then you can even go on the top and kind of go in and just create a little more shape, because it just takes, kind of just trims that little area without, making mistakes. Sometimes if you're using a scissor, you can cut too much. This actually just takes off exactly what you need. So there you have it. And then after you would trim, you would just comb everything back into place. And then you would take your healing powder and like to just dab a little fingertip, and then you just go over all the areas where you tweeze, work it into the skin. Also, it kind of creates a little highlight, so if you're going to do makeup after, it just kind of highlights where you've tweezed and creates a really nice shape. And then, of course, last but not least, you're going to go in with a little clear brow gel and just comb everything into place. And then if you need to go back with your pencil, just and you can always comb through the brow gel with just the mascara one as well. And then if there's anything else you want to just fill in, perfect it. And as you can see, that is a really nice perfected brow. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy. I will be back soon.